Alright, hello Sanri. I told you I was going to make a video to show you how to power up. That's what I'm doing now. We're going to go over a few things to hopefully get your power up to where it should be. We're going to be looking at Strengthen, Summon, 8 Inner Gates, and Battle Armor. These are the four kind of biggest ways to gain power, and we're going to look a little bit in the group as well. So, before we start, I want to show you something in the recruit. So I noticed last week on the events that you were actually drawing 1 at a time. You should only draw 10 at a time because you get a guaranteed ninja every time you draw 10. And as well as this arrow actually leads to more. I don't know. You had free draws open on this side, but you had no free draws open on this side. So maybe you didn't know. I'll tell you that now. There's actually 8 treasures, not 4. You should always wait till you have 10 sealed scrolls before you draw. And you should probably draw to this treasure right there, 5 Kage treasure. This is the best treasure there is. Alright, but let's get into the strength thing. This is where you're gonna gain the majority of your power. All these things, all these tabs here, all equal to power. So we're gonna start off with the strengthen. It seems like you're doing pretty good on your main. Your equipment, since you're level 79, can go up to 79. But you see you have a 50 down here in this one, on the very bottom one, the necklace. But you can actually click the next ninja, as you see, and it doesn't look as good. Like, if I click on Sage Naruto over here, you actually have a level 9 piece of equipment, which only gives 100 resistance. Then if you look at your main, you're actually getting 600 resistance on your main. So that's 500 resistance loss because you haven't put anything in there. And then obviously we go a little farther down to Sasuke, and you have a level 4 necklace down here. Level 4 Jonin vest. That's not very good. You need to level all these things up instead of just one character. It'll make your account way stronger, and all your ninjas way stronger, no matter who they are. Because this isn't ninja specific; these are equipment, which goes on all ninjas. So instead of just leveling your main, you should focus everybody down here. Next is this one, which I've tried to stress upon before. You still have blue equipment. You should have gold equipment at this point, but your max is purple. Let's go. If you go click on like one of your blue equipment and you want to level this up, you can obviously see what you need here: the tuning scroll, the ghost stone, firestone, and earth stone. If you hover over one of them, and this little blue or kind of eye pops up, you can actually click that, and it'll show you where to get that material. So you can then go here. Let's say you wanted to go this, you can just click sweep 5 times, and you actually see you got the stones. Then now you're 7 out of 3. You just do that for all of them until you have everything required, and then you can actually just level that up. Just as easy as that. You have to do it little by little each day since it costs stamina, which you can see at the very top left. You always seem to have 350. You should try to keep it low. It'll maximize your value. But you need to kind of get that up on everybody, on every character. And if you're wondering how to sweep, you need to 3-star it. So like this one will take you here. You've only 2-starred this one, so you can't sweep it. You have to do a little blue circle inside this to 3-star it. You should work on that. This will gain a lot of power. The Magatomas, this is a big problem I've seen that you've done on multiple different places. You've nice the Magatomas in your main, level 5s and 4s, 3s. These are the really good Magatomas everywhere. But as I click down to your Sage Naruto here, you have level 1s, you have empty slots, more level 1s, more empty slots, and it just gets worse as we go down to you not even touching this before. You have to spread out your Magatomas and then start leveling them up, because like Sasuke here has no extra ninjutsu. You've just completely left him alone, as then your fire main has level 4s and level 3s. Should always be leveling everyone up. You need to click around to see that, because you're losing thousands of power through this, through ignoring most of your ninja. The same with here. This will add the most important stat, which is initiative, which determines who goes first in a battle. And it seems like if I click Sage Naruto, you have a 0. You have 4 to here, 0, 0, more zeros. It's like you touched any of this, which loses in turn more thousands of power. You have to work on everybody instead of just your main. And even then, you still have zeros on your main. It's kind of weird. You need to work on that. The purify system's kind of hard to explain. It doesn't matter how many times you purify, but how lucky you get when purifying. You can see by the colors. I'll show you my account for this one since it's easy to describe when you have a lot of good examples. So if I go into here, you can see that I have the color orange, purple, white, and blue. So white is the worst. It basically means you have no extra stats. I have 25 extra injury, which is not very good. Next would be green. Green's the second worst stat. You shouldn't try for that. Just keep rolling if you get greens and whites. Then you get onto blues, purples, and oranges. Orange is the best. If you have an orange, you're going to want to lock that. Locking it means when you purify, that stat won't change. You keep that stat. And you want to basically roll for oranges, purples, and keep the oranges and purples the way they are, because those are going to give you the most stats. It looks like you haven't touched some of these, like you haven't purified even once. But this one's kind of hard because it's not guaranteed that you will get stronger by spending more purification runes on it. You're just going to have to get lucky and then know when to stop, when to keep it. Like you have a purple here, this would be good to keep, so you just lock that. Next is your rune stones. This is the exact same as your Magatomas, but with different stats, like initiative, critical, control, whatnot. It seems that you're leveling everything up into 1. So you have 1 level 5, but you have empty slots all around here. Which is not very good. And especially as I go down to your Naruto, your Sasuke, and your Kimimaro, they have nothing on them. Which is pretty weak. You're losing like another more thousands of power in here. You're going to want to, instead of leveling everything up into 1, you're going to want to spread it out. You know, like rather than having 1 level 3, you want to have all level 2s. It'll make you a lot stronger, give you a lot more stats. So last is the charms here. This one's kind of hard. You don't get a lot of materials for it. But once you get the levels up, and this hits level 3, you can see you're level 1 going to level 2, then you're 1 out of 20. These little bottom things, these rainbow Magatomas will unlock, and you'll be able to put them in, and it's like an all stats kind of up. Just keep working on that. This one's kind of slow. Anyway, we're done in the Strengthen tab, but instead now we can see what you're doing in summons. So there's 2 ways to gain powers in this icon. One is the runes. This one, I know personally, I'll show you mine. This is giving me thousands of power alone. So, the key difference between us here is you have really good runes here. You know, I'll say level 6s, those are really, really strong. Level 4s, level 5s. This is perfect. Right, this is what I want to see. But then I click over to your chameleon down on the left-hand side, and you have nothing here. Click down to your last summon you have equipped. You have nothing here as well. So you can see at the bottom, it's the total attributes to your ninjas, what you're gaining from putting all this stuff in there. If we compare ours, we have around the same for this one. Yeah, around the same. You actually have more of some stats than me, because your first slot's really, really good. But as I click down, I still get even more. When you click down, you don't have anything. So I'm gaining around 600 life from these 3, when you're only gaining around 200. But that can be fixed if you just stop leveling these up, save them, and then click and put them all in here. And then once you're done here, put all of them in here. Then start leveling these 2 up instead of your top summon. That'll gain you tons of power alone. Because they just give tons of stats. You're going to want to do that as soon as you can. So another thing, this was added recently, is the cultivation. You can level up specific summons, like this. It'll use the unbound runes at the top, as you can see. You get them through Arena Shop and doing Arena, and then you have to do group stuff to get the summon contracts. But as you level this up, it'll give you permanent stats for all your characters. And every time you finish a set, that specific summon will get stronger. So I see you haven't touched anything here, which is not very good. And I don't think you have all the summons. Like Ninja Dog Shiba, if you wanted to get all the summons, you almost have all the summons, that being said. You're pretty close. But you should work on getting Rhino, Ninja Dog Shiba. Those are pretty good summons. You just click the little blue icon again, and it'll show you exactly where to get it. Once you click that, your character will automatically run to that area. You're going to want to finish those last two up, you're almost done. But that's about it from here. So 8 inner gates is the next one, and this one's kind of annoying. Oops. This one's really expensive, and it's going to give you, like if you hover over each little thing, it's going to say what it's giving you. You want to just go for life, ninjutsu, attack, the basics, defense, resistance. Don't get too crazy right now. This is a really expensive system, and it is subject to change. In China, it's a little different. In China, there's only one, but you have one for every character here. I think you've seen this. You've already put them in there. Life recovery is not bad either, but you don't have to touch this if you don't want to. But I recommend putting at least a few things in here. It'll give you a little bit of power, like you've done already. You can especially see the difference that you've done now. If you see here, you have 4,564 power on your main, but if you click Kimimaru, he only has 2,900. So you've kind of split up your ninjas, so your main's really strong, but all your other ninjas aren't very strong. But that's not because of here, that's because I'm kind of everywhere. So the last thing we're going to look at is battle armor. Battle armor is really important. This gives tons of stats. Every stat you can think of goes up when you do battle armor. And if you want to see mine, I'm level 27, rank 4, and you're level 5, rank 1. So the way to change this is to do strong approaching. Strong approaching will give you both the cloth for this slot and the thread for this slot. You can click that little red thing to do strong approaching here. Minato and Itachi are the two strongest ones, so I'd be careful around them. I can't really do them. But every other one you're going to want to make sure you do 6 times a week minimum, because they'll give you all the stats. Right now you just want to stick to normal, because hard and expert won't give you the things you need. But as you level up, you will no longer need the green cloth or the green thread. You're going to need blue cloth and blue thread, so you're going to want to move on to hard. And once you want the purple cloth, you're going to want to move on to expert. So this will give tons of power, and it's fairly fast to go, only limited by the amount you can do a week. I can see that you haven't actually ever touched the thread, which is not very good. This should be way further up for being level 80. We're going to look at one last thing you can do for your power, which is under group. This is very important. We all work on this together. But if you come up here, you'll see the skill instructor right here. You're always going to want to try to get all this stuff up. Especially life, attack, ninjutsu, defense, resistance, and life recovery. These are my favorite stats to level up. I can see that you're still level 5 in ninjutsu, level 30 in life, but you're going to want to max them out as soon as you can. The way you get the group contributions, obviously, you go to group contributions and you donate. The more you donate, the more group contributions, and you can spend your group contributions on the skill instructor or the lucky wheel. These are the biggest ways you can gain your power, and I recommend you start fixing them now, so you can start matching other people your level, and you can still obviously be competition for Great Ninja War. I hope this helped you. If you need any more help, make sure to let me know. I can go over this again. I can go over this with you. I can sit in Discord and tell you what to do. But that's it. Thanks for watching.